Oh, what do I say? So, Twitch is Mulder. And say Twitter. Then say, oh no. Say, I'm streaming my passion project. Do something like that. Okay. And then what? This courier payroll service exposes a cash out function that I got to figure out. Deposit, withdrawal. Okay. Is there really a depositor withdrawal, or is there just well, there is. Or is it really just a transfer? I don't know yet. So this bank card transaction service, this transfer funds takes a transfer funds request. We know that could probably be useful, right? This is filled. Okay. So your payroll service could probably, for now, first of all, this needs to be our startup. The payroll service will probably have a transfer funds request, signature. And then we have to say what from account to account is. Do we? And it's like, what's an account? Okay. Find that right here. And it's like, what's a holder? Okay. Hopefully I answered most of your questions. All right. And we see that we have this convention of filled. I think in my courier service, I don't think I was doing that. I had data member. And so I was using the wrong attribute. It's supposed to be filled and then data member. Okay, that's not that bad. So supposedly, all I need to do is this right here. Is that right? Okay. Apparently that's all I need to do. That here. And there. And there. And there, and there, and you sure that's right? It looks like that's what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. If we go back to our courier service, when we do a cash out request, is it really an amount? Or are we doing cash out and we're passing in the transactions? Oh, so I feel like there should probably be there's two ways of looking at this. This amount, I feel like it shouldn't be amount. I feel like it should be a type commission tokens. I don't know, something like this, in which your commission tokens are essentially, first let's just say commission token, okay? And the commission token is essentially a transaction that hasn't been, it's a bounty that hasn't been claimed. It's basically an unpaid bounty. Unpaid bounty. Okay. And so that can probably be its own type, right? Because then you're like, okay, what's an unpaid bounty? And you could say that type unpaid bounty is a bounty. Do I have a notion of a bounty in here? No. I think I should somewhere, right? Yeah, I have a bounty in here, but it's just a decimal. So you have an amount that's we should say float. So an unpaid bounty is it's going to be is there a delivery request ID? It really shouldn't be a request ID. It should be that's not what I wanted. It should be there should be like a delivery completed ID. Here's a delivery ID. I'm not sure if that actually does anything though. Probably. So let's imagine if there were something as a delivery ID. Uh-oh. Delivery ID. Maybe that's delivery ID. I'm gonna have to think about this a lot more. This is a courier.delivery. Can I open that from here? Open courier.delivery.data transfer. All right. So, hey, observer. An unpaid bounty has a deliver ID and an amount, right? Okay. Somehow that delivery ID is going to map to something saved in the database. Okay. I'm okay with this so far. All right. So is there really a commission token or is it just an unpaid bounty? Okay. And so maybe it's just type unpaid bounties equal, and then you just say unpaid bounty sequence like that, maybe. Probably need to wrap this like this so we can send this over the wire. Something like that. All right. So when you deliver something, given a request ID, you get a delivery ID. Is it a delivery ID or is it a delivered ID? I feel like it's probably delivered ID. All right. I'm trying to make sure I have the terms correct so that they don't be confusing later as things evolve. Uh, wait for this. Can I edit it while it's building? Oh. All right. So let me cancel the build and let me just say that it's going to be called delivered. Okay, I don't know how to spell delivered. Delivered ID. Something like that. Okay. then 1 second, that's my phone. Okay, so we have this notion of a delivered ID for unpaid bounty. We have an amount. Is there really, I feel like, should there really be an amount on here? Because what I'm really doing is, whatever unpaid bounties that they have, they're just going to cash out, right? And I feel like if I include an amount field on here that's not tightly correlated, then I don't know. Okay, if the application spins up, then the server is going to serve me a list of unpaid bounties, which could be a deliver ID with the bounty on here. So let's call this bounty. And I think we already established a bounty like that. Okay, that's one way to do it. Then they would just submit a cash out request in which they have a list of unpaid bounties, which is here. Okay. So this would be like bounties, which is a list of unpaid bounties. Or we just leave it as unpaid bounties. Okay. So when they do a cash out, they have these bounties. They have these bounties like this. Right? They have their token as their access to, which is courier ID, and their API key. But then they have a list of unpaid bounties that they would submit as a cash out request. Okay. Anything else? Well, I think that's okay for right now. Well, why am I using? But the thing is, it's just a build being said. I'm probably not using it anywhere. So this cash out receipt, then should probably have an amount. Okay. But that amount is really a list of bounties. So I wish, yeah, so we can say something like with member X amount. How does this work? Equal, and then first of all, does this syntax work? I'm not sure what the syntax is, but what I would like to do is I would like this to be I would like this to be like the bounties, like unpaid bounties, which now we have paid bounties. Right, so you have type paid bounties equal, and it's a sequence. It's a sequence of this right here. So this bounty is a float. So now we have bounty, which is an overloaded term. Bounty is now an overloaded term, right? Because we have bounty that is over here. So now we just need to call this, and I don't know what you called it. Just call it amount. I hope that it sticks. Okay. And then paid bounties is going to be a sequence of bounties like this. And the same thing with unpaid bounties. Like that. Okay. And so I was saying that your cash out receipt is going to be paid bounties. So this is the receipt. We say paid bounties, and we do that. And maybe we don't even have to say paid bounties, right? For the name, it's just called bounties. And do we really want to call it bounties, or do we want to call it deliveries? If we say deliveries, then is going to be, will that name still work out here? Delivery, and then amount, maybe. All right. So then, like this whole thing compiles here. So I should be able to say that your amount is going to be your, I should be able to say x dot deliveries, that we should be able to fold, right? Sequence dot fold, that is going to, I just want to do something, right? Where we have v dot web intelligence on here. What is v? Doesn't know what v is yet. Your fold has an accumulator too, right? So I think this accumulator is the first argument. A bounties, and then you have your bounty right here. And so I think it's like x dot deliveries is your initializer. That is going to, how does this work? It's going to do a sequence.map to function, given a function d, we have d dot, and this isn't working out the way that I expected. Okay, and it's not working out the way I expected. So sequence. Let's do this right here. I'm almost positive that you have to have an empty something in here. But I still feel like it should. This is your accumulator, right? And so, yeah, it should be, I think that should work. So this amount takes a unit, and okay, I think this is it right here. And your deliveries feeds into that. I don't know what this is right here. Okay. So then, supposedly, we could say that our accumulator, how does this work? We return accumulator plus the amount. That's the way it works. Okay. And what else? Doesn't like result. And why is cash out receipts being used here? I'm not sure. Boom, boom. We gotta figure this out. So on cash out, let's say let request, which is a cash out request, equal, and then we have this stuff right here. Okay. Well, it's supposed to be cash out request, like that. And it looks like we have, this is supposed to be bounties. And those bounties are supposed to be they're supposed to come from somewhere. Right now, we'll just make it an empty list. This, we'll just say to-do. Okay. Let's say get unpaid penalties, something like that. All right. And this still looks funky over here. Let's figure out some of this stuff goes away. What have I been on? 30 minutes. Okay. It's taking a longer and longer amount of time to build. Okay. So it's still complaining about some things. This cash out receipt right here has a notion of deliveries. So we have deliveries, and which we're just gonna, for right now, say it's not defined. Okay. Now, why is this transactions? Why does it think it needs a cash out receipt? And token for day. And why does it think that? Cash out amount doesn't appear to be used right now. Query day, like I don't. Give me a second. What if we? This is what we have right here. What if we held off on this cash out receipt to try to figure out if this stuff gets resolved? Yeah, so now that's delivery receipts. Okay. And this result is transactions. All right, so wait for this to build. And I should be able to do something like this. Should be able to, if you notice, it does get resolved. I should be able to do something like this to force it. No, I can't force it. This transaction is an overloaded term. It looks like it probably is. All right, so we have one error here. So request, cash out request. I say cash out. Okay, I have 7 errors now. How do I spell cash out wrong? Be a S, like that. Dependencies, cash out, cash out. This doesn't look right. Cash out receipt is not defined. Okay. And that's because I had commented it out. So where is it? over here. Control Shift B. And why is this? I can almost guarantee you this amount thing is throwing it off my compiler. So we're trying to let this thing build. And while that is trying to build, I gotta step away for a second. My machine is just taking a long time for an app that I don't think is really that humongous. All right, now what? We're still running into these things right here. So if I move cash out receipt to somewhere else, well, let's say I moved it to over here. Wonder if that would make any difference at all. I don't understand why my thing is taking so long. But this probably doesn't help. And I do have a couple solutions open, so we can close that. We can close this. We can close this. Okay. Do I need to restart Visual Studio? Is this normal for this to be this high? 90K. I feel like I'm going to have to do that. Still waiting for the output. Is chugging along. This is taking way too long. This app is not that big for it to take 2 minutes to build. Okay. And we're still getting the same issues. So next up is let's bring this back out to where it was. And if you remember, we had commented I'll, first of all, what happens if I do this? First, I'll do that, see if it does anything. Let's see if it's hiccuping just because of that member method attached to the record. And then if that's still giving me the same issues, then I got to figure out what deliveries really is, because apparently it's overloaded. Deliveries. And we're at 40 minutes. Okay, so that didn't resolve daily. Go back over here and comment this whole thing out. Brute force at least this part to get resolved, and then drill into what result actually is. The result is transactions, right? So if I do transactions, there's double clicking on it. Let me see. So if I do result, which is supposed to be transactions, there has to be another transaction that's defined somewhere. Oh, I can't find it. Where is this defined at? Two transactions goes to apply. I'm having the hardest time deciphering how to resolve this. This cash out right here, it doesn't know what I'm talking about. This cash out receipt, was commented out. Yeah, I'm struggling right now to figure out what I need to do. Okay. Where is that? Get rid of this. Yeah, I can't figure it out, dude. Transactions. Where else is this defined at? There's a module transactions. This is hold up. Yeah, this is the only transactions that's defined. So I feel like, do I have to do courier transactions data transfer? Just do it like that. Like what I'm saying is, do I have to do this? Courier transactions data transfer transactions. Okay. And where does it break at? I got 50 minutes. And that actually succeeded. Uh, don't ask me how. Don't ask me how that succeeded. So the next question is, how do I annotate type transactions equal? Can I do this? Is this legal? No, it's already defined here. What if I do that? And then I go back over here. Can I do something like that? And it says, yeah, you can do something like that. Okay. So now what? Oh, now we go back to our. I thought there was like a cache out view model. There was a compensation view model. Well, that's not what I was looking for though. Is it under account? Somewhere in here I had a cache out. Try transactions, view model, transactions. And this was the cache out right here. And so what we should really have is this cash out succeeded. It's not right. There should be a cash out requested. So this request cash out, that is in the wrong, it's in the wrong view model. So question is compensate, should a cash out be in a compensation subdomain or an account subdomain? What does this data gateway have? It has a cash out right here. All right, I feel like we'll probably throw it. Here's a cash out, that XAML right here. Okay. Which means that there should probably be a cash out view model. And we would throw it in there. So there would be a cash out .fs, and this would be our view model. So we copy that, and then we have, I don't know, cash out, something like that, and then it's supposed to inherit view model base, so we do that, and then the rest is pretty much up to us, right? We'll copy paste this, these imports. Okay. This, I don't like the name of this domain. It's called utilities, right? Yeah. But if we go into the file here, for bin, it's probably still referenced as domain. And that's a utilities, like that. And then this will probably be a utility, until I come up with a better name. Okay. Oh, utilities, not utility. Yeah, I understand that's that. All right. What's going on? Scott speaking, how can I help you? Yeah, I'm okay. How are you?